And ladies and gentlemen, up next is our final panel discussion for the morning of Smart Finance Forum. I would like to introduce you to the topic of the discussion, which is how CBDC fuels the innovation of Fintech. And to moderate our session, we have the honor of having with us Mr. Keung George, Chief Fintech Officer from the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, to host the session. Let's give a warm welcome to George. Welcome on stage. Thank you. And joining him would be our panelists, and they include Ms. Nancy Cheng, Head of Partnership and Innovation from Hang Seng Bank. Welcome, Nancy. And up next, Mr. Dayong Zhang, Chief Commercial Officer from Hashkey Group. Welcome. And also Professor Alan Au, Professor from the Department of Computing from the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. Welcome, Professor. Could I invite the gentleman and lady on stage to please do be seated? Thank you. So George, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming to this panel discussion. Again, my name is George. I'm from the Fintech Facilitation Office of the Hong Kong Monetary Authority. So very excited to be here today to talk about how CBDC could fuel the Fintech innovation. So in fact, today we have a very good mix of panelists with representatives from banking sector, from virtual asset industry, as well as from academia. So very looking forward to their insightful sharing in the coming 30 minutes. So maybe I'll again have a very quick introduction about our panelists first. So joining me on the stage, Ms. Nancy Zhang. He's the Head of Partnership and Innovation at Hang Seng Bank. Nancy focuses on entity-wide strategic partnership and building an innovation ecosystem. She also leads CBDC initiative in Hang Seng Bank and actively participates in the Hong Kong MA CBDC projects. So thank you, Nancy, for your bank. You have been always very supportive to the HKMA initiative. Thank you so much. So next to Nancy is Dayong Zhang. Dayong is the Chief Commercial Officer of the Hashkey Group. Overseeing Hashkey Group's strategic business development and marketing. Before his current role, Dayong was Ant Financial's regional head for Southeast Asia, where he helped expand Ant Financial's business from China to overseas market. Welcome. And then at the other end is Professor Alan Au, who is in the Department of Computing at the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. Professor Au's research interests include cryptography, blockchain technology, and their applications. He has published over 200 preferred papers in top journals and is founding members of Hong Kong CBDC Expert Group, which was formed last year in October. So let's move on to the topic of today's panel discussion. CBDC has become one of the hot topics among central banks in recent years. So according to a research, over 130 central banks are now at various stages in exploring their digital version of their currency. So Hong Kong is, of course, no exceptions. As the Hong Kong central banking institutions, the HKMA has been proactively exploring the CBDC since year 2017 on both wholesale and retail fronts. So thanks, Ethan Chen from BOCHK just touched on some of our CBDC projects, but I still want to give you a very quick overview on three key CBDC projects that is ongoing in the HKMA. So for the wholesale CBDC, we have a project called mBridge, which is in collaboration with other three central banks, as well as the Bank for International Settlements Innovation Hub, which you can call it BISIH in short. To study the CBDCs can be applied to solve the key pain points of cross-border payments. So mBridge currently is at the minimum viable products development stage and is targeted to launch in this year. And then on the retail front, the HKMA completed the phase 1 of the HKD pilot program last year. And we recently, in fact, just announced the commencement of our phase 2 pilot program. So in the coming phase 2, we will delve deeper into some select pilots from phase 1, as well as some new use cases that has not been covered in phase 1. So as our CBDC journey continues, we witness the significant progress in innovation in the private sector regarding the asset tokenizations. As such, we embarked on our next chapter with Project Ensemble, which is a wholesale CBDC project. The aim is to explore innovative financial market that will facilitate seamless interbank settlements of tokenized money through the use of a wholesale CBDC. So I think enough introduction of the CBDC project that is ongoing in Hashkey. Now I would like to turn the floor to our 3 panelists to share their views on the trends, the opportunities, as well as benefits that brought about by CBDC. I'll start with Professor Au first. So I think everyone here would be very interested to know from your research, what are the major trends and innovation in global retail and wholesale CBDC developments? So over to you, Professor.
Thanks, George. Okay, it's my honor to be here. So indeed, in the last few years, we see a lot of exciting developments around the world in CBDCs. As George has mentioned, there are 2 major types of CBDC, including the retail and the wholesale CBDC. Retail, as its name suggests, intend to kind of like the digital version of our daily life cash. And one of the prominent examples around the world is the Seng dollar from Bahamas. So you know this is due to its geographic challenges. They have like hundreds of islands. So a digital version of this currency will allow people to have greater, easier accessibility to this currency and to have banking services. And in terms of wholesale CBDC, we also see, besides Hong Kong, we also see other projects like Jasper from Canada or Ubin from Singapore. They intend to use a technology known as distributed ledger technology to speed up things like settlement and clearing of payment. And in terms of innovation, I guess the previous keynote speaker already mentioned, one of the key innovation in CBDC is called the programmability, meaning that we can program the CBDC, add instructions to it to specify when, where, and how this money can be spent. And I guess people from Hong Kong may imagine, okay, what are the use of this programmability? Last year and several years ago, we have this welfare distribution like consumption voucher scheme. But at that moment, if now we have this programmable CBDC, maybe we can distribute this consumption voucher using the programmability, so it might be more easier and more cost effective. Of course, in Hong Kong, we see a lot of exciting projects carried out by MA, like Ambridge, which facilitate this cross-border payment and so on. And other innovation that I guess cannot be neglected is privacy-enhancing technology. It seems that more and more attention around the world are paying attention to this technology, meaning that how can we build CBDC with privacy by design, so that at one hand we can verify the integrity of the transaction and at the same time still respect the privacy of the individual users. So I guess these are my take on the recent trend and from the academia. Thank you.
Thank you for your sharing, Professor Au. Yeah, I think it's very true. Different jurisdictions would look at the CBDC from different perspectives. Some of them comes from the financial inclusion perspective, and some of them could look at it because of the additional benefits or characteristic that it would bring to the society. So when we talk about digital money, it's also very important to think about the digital assets. So Hashkey Exchange is one of the first batch of licensed virtual asset exchanges to offer retail service in Hong Kong. So Dayong, in your view, how does CBDC can contribute to the development of digital asset market? Grateful for your sharing. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Judge, for the question, also for having me here, right? It's my honor. So maybe a few words about the Hashkey Group, right? So actually, we are well known as Hashkey Exchange, which is the first regulated licensed exchange platform in Hong Kong. Actually, we are also running a lot of other business to help to build the Web3 so-called infrastructures, including we are one of the biggest Ethereum node servicing provider in Asia. And also, we have the tokenization services to helping all the SMEs and startups to design their token economics, and also help them to build the whole systems. And also, we have the biggest venture capital in Asia to help all the entrepreneurs to innovate in Web3 and also digital asset, digital currency industry, right? So back to your question, George. Definitely, actually, when people are talking about the digital assets, they're always thinking about BTC, Ethereum, or some other tokens, right? Which can raise 100 times in a day, right? But it's not necessarily true that the blockchain technology only serves that purpose. From my point of view, technology is mutual. You know, they can benefit a lot of things to the real economy, different aspects. Especially for blockchain technology, in the beginning of this technology, if we read the white paper of BTC, it was designed for payment. It was designed for payment. I believe CBDC will be the most important cornerstone to really take the blockchain technology to benefit the real technology, the real economy, including payments, right? So the most important two attributes of blockchain, or talk about crypto, actually it is, number one is the unified ledger. People always talking about the decentralized, but for me it's not really, seems like decentralized versus CBDC is something opposite with each other, but actually it's not necessary, right? The most important thing is a unified ledger, which makes the money movement and the asset movement much more easier, much more efficient, and also much more lower cost. And the second part, most important attribute of this technology is programmable, which we call that a smart contract. This will enable a lot of new products to be built on top of this kind of technology and infrastructures, right? For a digital asset market, from when we have a very strong CBDC product, CBDC infrastructure, at least we can get the benefit from the following 3 to 4 points. Number one, we definitely can have a better interoperation between crypto exchanges, crypto assets or digital assets versus the traditional financial products. Yeah, for example, today, we cannot believe, right, after almost 20 or 30 years we're talking about information technology, we're still suffering from very high cost of money transfer. Right? If we transfer money from US to Hong Kong dollar, right, it takes pretty big cost. So, but with the CBDC as an infrastructure, we can definitely see, right, so people can make this transfer, this trading between crypto, between digital assets with fiat assets more frequently with much more lower cost. This is number one. Number two, I believe CBDC is not just a token. It's more like an infrastructure with this smart contract, with this programmable attributes. It will give the financial institutions more power, more possibility to build a better or different kind of innovative digital assets. It's not necessary, as I mentioned, not necessary for a VATP exchange, only trade for BTC, Ethereum. We can also help the better trading, better liquidity of the so-called RWAs, including tokenized deposit, including tokenized bonds, all those things, right? But the settlement, the build of those products need the support from a programmable, smart contract, a complexible CBDC infrastructures. This is number two. Number three, we believe Hong Kong to be the digital economy hub of the whole world. We need a better connection with the whole world. But currently, if we send money from Hong Kong to other countries and also other countries to Hong Kong, especially for Hong Kong dollar, right? We don't really have a good support of the global money transfer or asset transfer network. I believe CBDC, especially wholesale CBDC, can serve this purpose in the best way. We can build our own CBDC infrastructure, and also we can build the connectivity with other countries or regions. So this is a very important 3 points we can benefit from CBDC. Really looking forward to that. Yeah.
Thank you for your sharing, Dayong. I think it's very clear to us that with the introduction of technology like tokenization, DLT, blockchain, it definitely could bring us lots of imagination. It's infinite. So, you know, some of my friends actually told me that central bankers are just a bunch of boring people, very traditional. So I think the market and the industry definitely needs people like you, full of creativity and innovation capability.
I cannot believe that. You know, I have been working with Hong Kong MA different teams right now for CBDC, for stable coins, right? I'm really impressed by how professional they are and how passionate they are in this new technology. Really looking forward. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dayong. So, in the development of digital asset and money, I think commercial banks are certainly playing a very important and key role. So now I will turn to Nancy. In your opinions, what are the benefits of CBDC in enhancing the payment process in banks? In particular, how could CBDC facilitate cross-border payments and foreign exchange transaction in, say, international trade? So over to you, Nancy. Thank you.
Thank you, George. And first of all, I want to say that regulator is not boring at all. We work very closely, and we all are very innovative, right? So to answer your question, yes, CBDC as a digital version of legal tender issued by central banks, it do offer lots of potential opportunities to improve the overall payment process of a bank. Traditionally, like letters of credit, it involves a lot of manual work and also verification, some manual checking, and lots of documentation work. And it requires a lot of work and therefore increase the cost, both indirect and direct costs. And with CBDC, I believe all these processes could be potentially streamlined. And this will be enabled by, some core features of CBDC. Actually, they are all mentioned by Dayong and also the professor. First of all, the atomic settlement capability of CBDC. So with the blockchain or DLT, the transactions could be settled instantly, from using multiple days to almost instant, enabled by the blockchain or DLT. And we can also process the transaction without involving a lot of intermediaries and saving the foreign exchange procedures and also the associated manual work. And we foresee that this can help to enhance the overall liquidity of the bank and also the participants in the transactions, as well as improving the overall functioning of the payment system. And the second feature that I would like to highlight is the traceability and transparency enabled by CBDC. So with all the transactions being recorded on blockchain, and these transactions, every step could be visible for the banks and also for the participants. And therefore, we can have higher visibility of every step and the flow of funds, and also the goods associated with all these transactions. And this can overall enhance the accountability of these transactions and help us to manage the fraud risk and also the counterparty risk more efficiently. And lastly, I would like to highlight the feature of programmability, which already highlighted by other speakers. This is one of the most important features that CBDC could offer to the industry, in which we could build the smart contracts with the CBDC transactions, and we could build in the predefined conditions in every transaction. So, for example, in a supply chain transaction, we could facilitate the completion of the settlement only when some predefined conditions are met according to the contracts. And at the same time, we could also trigger penalties if there is any non-compliance of the transactions. So I think overall, this can improve the efficiency of the international trade finance, and at the same time help the bank to improve the risk management. So all in all, we think that CBDC do offer a lot of potential opportunities for the bank, and we really look forward to realize this benefit in the near future.
Thank you, Nancy. Yeah, I agree with you that programmability, atomic settlement, those character are definitely some very impactful technology and changes to which can help us to re-engineer a lot of the internal existing process and make it more efficient. So I would like to change the gear a little bit now and move on to talk about some of the specific projects of the HKMA that are ongoing. So this time I would like to start with you, Dayong. I'm interested to know from you on the future of digital asset market. So specifically, what are the innovative use cases that our project Ensemble that you see that will bring enable Hashkey and the industry? And more broadly, how could Project Ensemble support the development of Hong Kong to become a digital hub, in the region or even in the globe? So thank you for your sharing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we are all here, to build Hong Kong as the not only the digital financial hub of the world, but also the financial hub of the world, right? So for the digital assets, when we talk about this CBDC project, we are very excited actually. Today, when people trading digital assets in our platform, the settlement can happen already almost real time. But when we do on-off ramp, when we transfer the money from the bank to our custodian bank, right, from customer bank to our custodian bank, it will take hours or even days if the people transfer from overseas. With this wholesale CBDC project, I really hope we can be part of the upgraded or unified RTGS system. Then we can move the fiat currency into digital CBDC. Then we can do this transaction in the whole transaction can be really unified in real time. And definitely, this will also enable us to have a better security control. For example, AML, right? So today, we can actually the whole process of AML today is, and also security control and even the money movement is really in a black box. For example, it's really happened a few days ago. I hope nobody suffer from that in this room. When we send our money, our customer money back to their bank account, it gets bounced back by the system. But this happened 2 days later. Nobody knows what happened between. The customer is very, panicked. They don't know where are the money, because we already deduct from our account. They didn't see it in their account, right? When we have this CBDC project, we will have much more transparent. People will know where are your money, what is happening, and also all those risk control, all those AML will give everybody a very mutual view what is happening, right? So then also definitely, I believe this will also reduce the cost of the assets movement and the money transfer. This is number one. Number two, and also with this support from this WCBC project, I believe the industry players like banks, like other assets mentioned, they will build a much more attractive product on this infrastructure. This will make us have a much more richer set of assets to be offered to the investors. This will be very important because today you have to invest into cryptos because nothing else, If you want to tackle the economic growth of Hong Kong, of China, of US, you have to move your money out to somewhere else, right? And also people don't, really comfortable when they do this off-ramp. They suffer very high cost. I think this is enrichment of the asset classes, asset products will also help us a lot. We're really looking forward to that. Then to build a digital asset hub or digital financial hub of Hong Kong, I believe 2 things is very important. One is the connectivity. We should enable people to put their liquidity in Hong Kong market, right? But how can we do that, right? For example, as I mentioned, if some people in Brazil, they want to invest in Hong Kong today, it's very, very complicated. Right, with this CBDC project, if we can build the connectivity with those countries, this will enable us to be connected with the whole world naturally with this unified ledger, with permission. We can do it with permission, but without anyone else control that. If we can do trading with Brazil, for example, if somebody else is not happy, they cannot stop us. Right? This is a very, very important infrastructure to be built by the WCBC project. This is number one. Number two, to be a digital asset or digital financial hub, the most important thing is the quality of the assets. Liquidity, I don't think that will be a problem because when you have a good asset, it will attract liquidities. But how can we build those assets? How can we make those assets accessible to the global market? I think this is something going to happen with this CBDC, because with CBDC, all the so-called traditional, they're not traditional anymore, industry players, banks, fund management, asset managers can build a much more better product on this infrastructure with the unified ledger and also programmable smart contract. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think this is a very important two element, right? Number one, enable the innovation on assets. Number two, build the connectivities. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we are on the same page and share the same long vision. So like 20 or 3 years ago, Hong Kong started having its first RTGS system for settling large value payments. And then in 2018, we have launched our faster payment system for retail payment settlement. And then with Project Ensemble, we are hoping that this will further enhance our interbank settlement capability in terms of tokenized money. So thank you, Dayong. In addition to our work on the wholesale front, the HKMA also launched the phase 2 of the HKD pilot program, which I also mentioned earlier. So Nancy, Hang Seng Bank was very supportive, as I said, always to our all the initiative. And in fact, Hang Seng Bank was one of the participants of phase 1 of our HKD pilot. So I would like to hear from you, do you have any insights into the fintech innovation that phase 2 of the pilots can potentially bring to the community? So over to you, Nancy, thank you.
Thanks, George. First of all, I would like to thank HKMA for leading such a great project and help the industry to understand more on CBDC development. So last year, Hang Seng had 3 use cases being selected under the EHKD pilot program phase 1. And they are programmable payments and also tokenized deposits. And we have conducted a few rounds of real-life transaction on that. And we do have a lot of insights derived from the testing. And this year, I think there are a few areas that could potentially drive some innovation use cases. First of all, tokenization of different assets. Last year, there was use case about tokenized property, I remember. And actually, with the unique features of EHKD, we could facilitate the development of Web3 economy and also next generation of asset tokenization. On top of real estate and also other traditional financial instruments, like the recent tokenized bond and also tokenized gold being issued by the other financial institution. Actually, utilizing the unique features of EHKD, we could try to tokenize other alternative assets in order to provide more opportunities for the public to have fractional ownership of different asset class so that we could improve the overall wealth management services to the public and therefore could enhance the adoption rate of EHKD in the future should it be launched. And secondly, the interoperability. I would like to highlight on that because like last year, Hang Seng created a hypothetical EHKD wallet, but we built it on a private blockchain, and we test it in a campus, in Cyberport, and also in our own premises. And it is a very limited scale of ecosystem only. And this year, we foresee we could try to explore the interoperability of CBDC and try to extend the ecosystem to a wider scope. And hopefully we can use this more extensive platform to drive more innovative use cases. And lastly, as mentioned, and echo to my sharing on international trade finance, I think supply chain management is another area that we could explore. Because nowadays we can see a lot of pain points in the supply chain management. People can very difficultly to track the usage and also the flow of funds. With the traceability, the transparency, and also the programmability features of CBDC, we could try to track more clearly on the flows of funds and also the associated goods, and so to provide more visibility to the participants and also for the banks. And we hope this could help to improve the overall supply chain management. Well, these are all, I can still throw a lot of examples, but we do not have so much resources to spend on different use cases. But I think I'm really looking forward to more innovative use cases to be derived from the phase 2 pilots. And hence, we'll continue to be very supportive on that.
Thank you, Nancy. I'll put all this in my pocket first. Okay, and looking forward with our continued collaboration in the second phase. So besides business aspect, actually it is also critical to address the privacy concerns of the public, which is why HKMA is collaborating with BISIH on Project Aurum 2.0 to study how we can further enhance the privacy for retail CBDCs. So Professor Au, go back to you. You have been working on a paper by the CBDC Working Expert Group on privacy protection in CBDC development. So how can we enhance public and the industry confidence in the protection of privacy in terms of CBDC? Grateful for your sharing.
Thanks, Josh. Indeed, privacy is extremely important in the context of CBDC. So we are working on a white paper on privacy. Actually, what we are doing as the CBDC expert group is to investigate various privacy-enhancing technology and how they can be applied to CBDC. So we investigate technologies like pseudonym and advanced crypto techniques, including zero-knowledge proofs, rank signatures, secure multi-party computation, the list goes on and on. And we found that indeed, this technology can allow us to support transaction verification without leaking any personal details. In other words, it's indeed feasible to make transactions untraceable. But we are also looking at the other challenges, which is when we apply these technologies, PETs, to CBDCs, what are the costs? Will there be very severe performance penalty, or are they applicable to different architectures of CBDCs? And can they work well with existing requirements, such as the compliance requirements? So these are the things that we are looking at. And back to the question, how to boost the confidence of people in CBDC won't compromise their privacy. I guess there are two key paths. The first one is transparency. So we should be open about our CBDC design, and that's why when we are preparing the white paper, we intend to publish it so that people can know, okay, these are the technology that we are going to incorporate in our CBDC, so your privacy would be protected, and we are open for public review and also regular audit on this design. And another aspect is on the privacy by design. That's the advocate of our position. We believe privacy should be, this privacy enhancing technology should be strategically integrated with the design of CBDC, not just something that add afterwards, so that people know we don't need to trust any single entity for the privacy. And in fact, because the design of the CBDC already incorporate those PET techniques, so by default they are more privacy preserving. And I guess that's the two key points to boost the public confidence. One is the transparency, the other one is the privacy by design. Thanks.
Thank you, Professor. I'm looking forward to the publication of your report. So yeah, I think it is very tricky and not easy to always how to strike a best balance between innovations and regulations. Of course, we don't want to adopt or take all the benefits that bring about by the CBDC, such as programmability, tokenizations, etc., in the expense of customer protection, such as privacy. So I think public-private sector collaboration is very important. So let's work together hand in hand on this. So as we are coming to the end of this panel, I would like to wrap up by inviting each of you to use I originally planned to give 1 minute to all of you, but I can see from the clock now, maybe you only have 30 seconds for each of you. So perhaps this time I will invite Nancy first, followed by Dayong, and then Ellen Au. Thank you. Over to you, Nancy.
So thank you for having this great session. And I think going forward, we can continue to see more international attention on this topic. And we really look forward to see more domestic as well as international collaboration on this topic and drive more innovative use cases. Because I'm sure CBDC could benefit to different sectors and also different industries. And we really look forward to continue to work closely together, continue with the regulator, the technology provider, the academic media, and we all together with collective efforts, I believe we could drive the CBDC development and help Hong Kong to reinforce its international financial center status.
Yeah,
Dayong,
10
thank
seconds left. So I'm looking forward, CBDC as the cornerstone and also the basic infrastructure to bring the whole assets into digital, not only from digital to exchange, but also from all the assets to be digitalized. And also CBDC held by Hong Kong, run by Hong Kong, also will be the cornerstone and also the basic infrastructure to reconnect the whole world again. Thank you.
Thank you. Professor Au.
Well, I'm really excited for the CBDC journey, and I believe the key to maintain our position or even become the leader in global CBDC development is something like this. Collaboration between the government, the industry, and the academia. I believe with our joint effort, we can set the benchmark for CBDC and even push forward to this standardize what CBDC means and for other people, for the whole world to follow.
Thank you very much. I can't agree more with you. So I hope you all have got some takeaway from our insightful panel discussion. May I invite all of you to give a big round of applause to our three honorable panelists today. Thank you so much, Nancy, Dayong, and Adam. Thank you.
And of course, a big thank you to George for moderating the panel for us. Can we have the few of you to please step slightly forward and perhaps a photo opportunity? All right, standing closer together, please. Thank you. Once again, I would like to lend your applause to our panelists and our moderator. That was a great session. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful. Keep that smile going. That's right. Thank you so much. Please do be seated. And for members of the audience, we hope you have enjoyed the Smart Finance Forum this morning.